So the next area that I would like to talk about in this video is the differentiation and plan support. If you look all the way up on page 23 or so, there it gives you a checklist, and it asks for differentiation or plan support for two different groups. Now I want to say this. First of all, I always do the whole class. Like, what am I going to do to make my whole class successful? And also, I went up, and I want to just point this out quickly. In my prior student knowledge, I said one student has learning profile that includes preferential seating, and then I had a period. I went back and included for ADHD. So what was that for? What was the reason? And that's going to help me with my differentiation and plan support. So my student with the learning profile, or in yours it should say IEP, because we don't have those here, I just want to call it what it is, and you're welcome to do that. But you can say students with IEP or students with I-504, that's fine as well. So going to the whole class, if you go to page 50, you'll see areas of concern. So I'm doing reading. So what am I going to do, or what accommodations or intervention could I do for everyone just overall? And one of those strategies was provide graphic organizers. And then, so I copied and pasted that. You can see it here. So provide graphic organizers, that's just from the list of suggested supports. And then I'm going to go down on this page, and it says hyperactivity or struggles with hyperactivity or impulsive. And so it says assist student at the beginning of the task to reduce the impulsivity. So I'm going to do that one. You can choose any one of these. You could choose a couple of them if you'd like, but I would try to stick to the suggested accommodations rather than making your own. So now you have to write this as a narrative, and you have to put in here, so the whole class. So ultimately, why are you going to do that? So I will provide a graphic organizer to the entire class to, like, and then why are you doing that? To identify any misconceptions, as well as to demonstrate that there are multi-uses or multiple ways to use different parts of the tree that not everyone might be familiar with, right? That's really, really important to the story that I chose, the giving tree, right? It's important that they understand that when it's a boy and he's using the leaves or the trunk or the branches, right, that he's using them in one way, but then that it could also be used in a different way. So I will provide a graphic organizer to the entire class to identify any misconceptions, as well as to demonstrate that there are multiple ways to use different parts of the tree that not everyone might be familiar with. So for example, in the book there he played King of the Forest with a crown of leaves, whereas that might not be familiar. So if there's a concept and we're talking about the transition between the boy being a kid and the boy being adult and his needs being different, then they would understand that the parts of the tree could be used in multiple ways. So, and then students with learning profile assist student at the beginning of the task to reduce impulsivity. So, and you can call it out and be specific. In the exemplars, it says what the kid's name is. I don't put that in. I just put the first or the child's initial. So I'm going to do BS. That happens to be her initials. So I or the teacher will assist at the beginning of the task in order to reduce impulsivity and to check for understanding of the task. Okay. Again, in a lot of the other ones, in the exemplars, it has the kid specific name. I don't do that, just for confidentiality purposes. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this out. Now if you go back to page 24 in your book, or in your template guidelines, and you look, I would say always try to go back to this, because if you are doing all the things on this checklist, then you will be in good shape. In fact, I do think I forgot something. So objectives we did, learning targets we did. So have you chosen 2 areas of differentiation? Yes, I have. I've chosen whole class as well as the IEP or learning profile. I have explained how and for whom I've differentiated, and now this is what I forgot, that C, does my differentiation areas connect to an objective? Is that objective listed? So then in this one, I would say objective 1. Well, actually, my objectives were aligned with my standards. So objective 3 and objective 3 rather. Objective 3, you have to have that. And I would, in fact, even put that in bold so that, okay, so list out the objectives.